My name is Danny Bélanger. I'm the lead game designer of the project Watch Dogs. We did not go into specifics of how this works, but essentially we do want people in single player and multiplayer to play together. And yes, they will be able to have dynamics together. What we want to achieve is to not force the player to quit his single player game and go to multiplayer. So essentially, you can do some soft activities like you described, hack and tail and watch and surveil. And there's game dynamics in there that are really fun and new, because we're pushing that envelope. First, the quality of the game, we want to do the same game. One version will not be super good and the other one bad. The good thing is, because we have a systemic game, we can easily scale up, scale down the simulation and make a similar game. That being said, the new PS4 has social, more social, I would say, values that are really connected to what we do. So playing with others and all of that is going to be pushed a lot more on that platform. The water as well, the water simulation will be only on next gen, because it's too, it's too hard for the hardware to roll that. That's it. As we described, there's driving, you can escape, you can chase, there's shooting, you can do stealth, foot chases, foot escapes. So all these things can be added on hacking as well. So all of these activities plus hacking, all of that at the same time, that is the player choice we want to give. So you can have an objective, see it as a problem, and any tool you want to use and the things we offer, you can pick to use them, so it changes every time. And as a player, you can make that decision. Are you a guy who likes more action, shooting, or more stealth? We want to support both. We think it's very relevant. Chicago had a lot of tragedies. It's very connected. There's a lot of interesting things that are linked to the city. The bridges around, there's canals, so the water, the use of tech is very interesting there. And because it has a bit of a history of crime as well, it adds that layer. It's a bit suspicious, corruption. So it's a very interesting city for us, for our themes, for our values. So that's why we picked it. Basically, any crime you do, the people in the city can become denunciators. So if they're witness of a crime, they will actually call the police force. After that, the police force will use a CTOS system to scan the area to try to find. So they're using cameras and everything they have. And if they identify you, they will send cops, they will send police after you. You can run away, and then it goes into fully systemic. So if they lose you, it becomes stealth. If you go really fast, you can escape the search zone. And then you have tools of hacking on top of that to really modify the way this happens and kind of these gameplays. So it's basically free to the player, but we have a fully developed police system that has multiple levels to it, multiple layers of gameplay. Essentially, what we want is, as a player, if you use more or less violence, or you're more reckless, it will affect the game. So definitely, reputation is important. As you saw in the demo earlier, there was a media broadcast in the gun shop. So the more crimes you do, the more chance that will happen, and the more they will portray you as a bad person. So you're never a friend of the cops, because a vigilante who, he still does things that are technically not legal, so they don't like him. But the social aspect of it will perceive you as, did you actually save someone from a crime? You did beat up the guy, but you saved him. So that plays a lot in the way the medias of the city perceive you. The objective is this. We do have a narrative that's very precise, and We believe in strong acting, we believe in strong story, and we want the game to have a meaning, so it's a personal journey for the main character. But when it becomes gameplay, that's where it's the player that creates the story. I'll give a concrete example. We don't want, oh, this is a mission where you shoot. This is a mission where you use tech. You know, it's not that. It's, like I said earlier, you have a problem, and you decide the tools or the means you want to use to solve that problem. So that part is a player story. So you express yourself as a player, you make up your own story, you know, you solve your problem, and then you move on to the narrative. The game will be available on current gen on November 21st, and any next gen console available will follow that date as well.